Hey! Lately I've been noticing that more and more people are actually very interested in learning Polish. I've noticed that many of people subscribed to my channel enjoyed my videos about the Polish language, which I think is just amazing. The fact that I can teach you some bits of my language, I think is really great. So today I decided to make another video about Polish. And I decided to go with the very basics. I'm going to tell you guys about the Polish alphabet, which is a bit different to any other alphabet in the entire world, pretty much. The Polish alphabet consists of 32 letters, including our own accents, I guess I can call them that way. What I mean by accents is, for example, on or ci, which are the letters only the Polish language has. I don't know what to call them professionally, I'm sorry. The additional letters in the Polish alphabet are letters such as on, ci, l, things like that. I'm gonna show you in a bit. In Polish, we don't use letters such as Q, X, and V. They only appear in words that come from foreign languages. We don't have them in our Polish language. In Polish languages, in Polish words. So how I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna go through the entire alphabet, including the additional letters that we have in Polish, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. So the first letter is obviously A, which in Polish we pronounce A. So that's the first one, A. It sounds weird, A. Then here comes the first kind of accent. After A we have on, which is an A with like a tiny little thing underneath. On. For example, the word łąka, which means a meadow, or pociąg, which means a train. Then we have B, C, and there comes another accent, which is ć. It's weird to pronounce, I suppose. Ć. For example, the word ćma, which means a moth. Ćma. Then we have D, E, and another accent, L, which is E, with that tiny little thing that was an A and it made on, but it's L. I'm the worst at explaining. For example, the word ręka, ręka, which means a hand or arm. We have one word for that, ręka, which is the, you know, the entire thing, ręka. Okay, continuing. F, G, H, I, J, K, L, L. L is another accent. L appears in words such as Łódź, for example, which is the name of a city, and it also means a boat. It also appears in the word that I mentioned before, łąka, which means a meadow. Then we have M, N, N. For example, the word koń, which means a horse. N, koń. Then we have O, and then after O comes U. For example, the word król, which means a king. In Polish we have two ways of saying U. We have, we call it an open U and closed U. Open U is just the normal U that you have in English, for example, just U. But we have the closed one, which is O with like a thing above it. I don't know how to call it, I just call it a thing. And depending on the word, we either use the open or the closed one. Sometimes it's difficult to remember, you just need to memorize that, and there's no other way to learn it, I'm pretty sure at least. So after U, we have P, R, S, ś. For example, in the word światło, which means light. Then we have T, U, here comes the U, which is the same thing as O with a thing over it, but it's different. It's same, but different. Well, W. And there should be X, which we pronounce X, but as I said before, we don't use that word in Polish. We do have it in our alphabet, but we hardly ever use it, literally just in words that come from other languages. Z, Z. Z appears in words such as źródło, for example, which means a source. Or źdźbło, if you want to go for something hardcore. Źdźbło. Then after Z we have rzet, Rzet is in words such as żarówka, which means a light bulb. So we have pretty much 3 versions of the word, of the letter Z. We have Z, Z, Z. So now that we've gone through the entire alphabet, it's time to go for something more difficult, which is the combination of letters. Which is the combination of 2 or 3 letters that sound like one. I know, it might seem scary, but it's not, trust me. We have H, Ch, Z. Let me see, I have a list here. H, Ch, Z, J, J, Ż, Sz. They all sound similar. I know, they really do. But let me explain it to you. So the first one is H, which is the combination of letters C and H. CH, H. For example, in the word chory, which means ill, H. Then Ch, which is the combination of C, Z, Ch. The word czas, which means time. D, D, Z, D. Wiedza, which means knowledge. Then we have Dź, which is D and Z, that Z with that accent. Wiedźma, which means a witch. Then we have Dź, which is D and Z with that other accent, with the Z, with the dot over it. Dź, in the word gem, for example, which means a jam, pretty much. Then we have Ż, which is R-Z, Ż. For example, rzeka, which means a river. And then we have Sz, which is very similar to Ż, but it's Sz, which is S-Z, and it appears in the word, let me cheat a bit, szafa, which means a wardrobe. Then we also have D, which you might kind of mix with D, but it's G. It's a bit longer, I would say. D-Z-I, G. For example, in the word dzień, which means a day. Then to make things a bit more difficult, we also have, I have to cheat again. We also have ci, ni, si, zi. Ci is C-I, which might sound similar to ch, which is C with an accent, but it's a different thing. Even though it sounds pretty much the same, it's ci. It's a bit longer than ch. For example, in the word ciasto, which means a cake, it's ci, not ch, ci. If you wanted to pronounce it with the C, with the accent, it will be ciasto. It will be shorter, but it's ciasto. I don't know if you can hear the difference, but there is a slight difference. Then we have ni, which could be similar to ny, which is N with an accent, but it's different. But it's pretty much the same, but it's different. Which is N-I, ni. For example, in the word niedziela, which means Sunday, ni. Then we have si, which is not the same thing as S with an accent. It's si, the S with an accent shorter, because it's si. For example, in the word osioł, which means a donkey. And the last one is zi, which is not the same thing as the Z with the accent. It's zi, because Z with an accent is zi, so it's shorter. And we use that in the word zima, for example, which means winter. Alright, that's it. I know it might be difficult, it might be all mixing up, it might be confusing. Even when I was preparing for that video, I was looking at the list of all the letters and everything. I was like, oh my god, Polish is really difficult. I tried to speak a bit slower because in the last video I made, I was speaking very quickly. I tried to fix it. I only noticed that when I was editing the video, so I'm sorry. I tried my best to be better this time. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want me to continue this type of videos, let me know, because I really like making them. And maybe I could make them in like a monthly series or something. I don't know. Let me know if you want me to, because there's so many things about Polish that pretty much every foreigner has to learn if they want to move to Poland or learn how to speak Polish, because Polish is unfortunately a very complicated language, but it is possible to learn. You just need to you need to be stubborn to learn it. Let's put it that way. Thank you for watching this video. I really hope it helped you at least a tiny bit, and I will see you in the next one.